What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Invest Daily. So today's video is talking about sports card investing. I'm heavily into basketball. I will buy other cards if it's a great deal or a pretty old card from like a T206 baseball set. But I'm gonna tell you right now, right before you click off this video, I'm gonna talk to you about how you can invest in sports cards. And I have a lot of friends who invest and try to hedge against inflation and risk with things like the S&P 500 or gold as an alternative, and they laugh when I talk about sports cards. But I have some data and some stats that is gonna blow your mind, right? It's gonna blow your mind, and the card market has already blown away the S&P 500, which is phenomenal. It's crazy to think about. And I really feel like the sports card market has not yet hit its peak, hit its pinnacle. It is only starting to expand. If you look at it statistically, about 1 out of every 50 people around the world invest in sports cards. If you get into different groups on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see people all across the world investing in sports cards. And it's also generational, right? You have kids who are growing up now investing in people like, Michael Jordan, who have never seen Michael Jordan play. They don't really know who Michael Jordan is. But what happens is generational, just like Pokemon. As a young child, you have something that you're really into, you start to invest your time into it. A long time ago, during the wax junk era, it was a lot of younger people, primarily 10 to 12-year-olds who were buying cheap bubblegum packs and opening them for like $3 and were buying sports cards. But now it is seen as a financial instrument, and there's a lot of money to be made, but you still have your collectors, right? I'm on the fence. I'm right in the middle between a collector / investor. There's nothing wrong with that. You can be an investor full time in it, or you can be only a collector. But if you're going to be an investor in a sports card market, you really have to keep up on top of it daily, because things change rapidly, right? Really, really fast. And you have your blue chips, just like stocks, your LeBron Jameses, your Kobe cards, your Michael Jordan cards and stuff like that. Your Stephen Curry cards are only going to go up from here. So the first thing I want to talk about, right, because there's a lot of things to take in with the card market right now, and Panini being the front runner right now for all of these cards coming out. So one thing I want to show is what I just talked about, right? Trading cards continue to trounce the S&P 500 as alternative investments. So this is an article by Forbes. It's pretty old, 2019. But as of December 31st, 2018, if you look at the S&P 500, right, the top 500 index yielded a 10-year ROI of 165% compared to a 71% for the S&P 500 adjusted for stock splits and other corporate actions. So this means that the card market in a whole, right, in a whole as an investment, gave more than twice the amount of the S&P 500 on return. If you don't know much about the S&P 500, it's probably one of the best financial instruments that you can actually invest in for humankind, right? Warren Buffett, this is one of the biggest things that he believes in, and he won a bet a while back against some of the biggest hedge funds in the world, talking about the S&P 500 will beat whatever you choose to invest in. And I'm telling you, I will only pick the S&P 500 and I will beat you, right? So that is huge. So if you're in the cards for an investment, then I'm telling you, it's never a wrong time, right? But you have to be careful because the market is flooded, especially Panini with all these different variations. It can be really difficult when you see these shiny items and you're trying to, figure out what you want to choose and what to pick. Another thing I want to show you. So as of 2016, this Honus Wagner card, baseball, pretty much took it as the most valuable card for $5.2 million. We're talking about one card. And when you look at these old baseball cards, you're looking at like a PSA 1, PSA 2, PSA 3 maybe, right? So it is a horrible condition card. But, whether it's PSA, BGS, or SGC, I mean, this was a $5.2 million card. And then you have cards like this. You have a Luka Doncic card, $4.6 million. This wasn't even graded formally by BGS, SGC, or PSA. This was actually in a holder, and it has, of course, the iconic NBA Jumpman, or Logo Man, And this is a very, very expensive card, iconic card, one of one. That means the rarity of it is unmatched. It's only one of these. It's signed by Luka, and it has that iconic NBA logo, man. So $4.6 million for a rookie, right? At that time, for a rookie, and that is just insane. And then moving on, we now have the top grossing card in the world, which is Stephen Curry for $5.9 million. And this is a PSA, but you can look at it, it's near mint. It's not even a 10, it's only an 8, right? The auto is a 10, the card is an 8. So do not think that 8s and 9s do not go for a lot of value, right? So if you can't grab a 10, maybe that 86 Fleer Jordan rookie is way too expensive for a 10, because of course it went for like $800,000, then you can still look at 2s and 3s for that 1986 card, as well as your LeBrons, right? They're only going to go up in value, especially when he retires and he hits that Hall of Fame. So, you know, we have right here something I want to show you is a website called cardladder.com. You can actually go on here, you can use it for free, and this is how you can track your cards, just like a stock market, right? So you can look up any card that you want, and I'm pretty much showing you right now a 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan number 57. It shows you the last sold price, the population count, so how many are in existence, the sold date, the market cap, and sometimes if it's undervalued or not, you have to have a pro account, and the rate of growth. And you can look right here and you can see where it's going up and down, you know, and having dips just like a stock, So the best time to buy it. And right now, I think a lot of these cards in the market are starting to see almost the bottom. So it's a really good buying opportunity for a lot of these cards. But it also shows you set information. It talks about the card, and it kind of talks about where you can find it at. So like this 86 Fleer, you can possibly find in a 86 Fleer basketball box or a basketball 86 Fleer wax pack, which are pretty expensive. And something else cool is collectible. So collectible, if you've ever had a card that is insanely too expensive, you can invest into these cards with fractional shares. So you can actually buy shares into a card and you can sell them. And as that card goes up or goes down, you can make or lose money, of course, but just like the stock market. So this is a really cool way to buy shares, fractions of really expensive iconic cards, and you can sell those shares at a later date. So that is really awesome. This is called collectible.com, collectible.com. Now, one other thing I want to talk about is, okay, so now you want to know what type of cards to buy, right? There's so many different cards, and depending on the era, for example, of LeBron James, you might be looking at a Topps for your value, right? His rookie card is a Topps card. And the thing about LeBron James, he has quite a few different rookie cards. So you might have like this one right here, this 2003 Topps LeBron card, right? And but he also has other rookies which are worth a lot more. So you have this Topps Chrome card. And of course, depending if you have the refractor or whatever you have, it could be worth more money. So you also have rookie cards like your Panini Prisms, your newer players that haven't been out, maybe 2013 up until now, a little bit earlier than that. Their rookie cards, sometimes it may be a prism, right? A Panini Prism. So you can see down here on this Jason Tatum, it says RC. This is his rookie card. This is only a 9. You can actually get it pretty cheap right now. So a lot of these rookie cards, if you believe in these players actually going up in the future, the best time to buy is when they're fresh, right? And the hype is not fully surrounding them. A great example would be LaMelo Ball, right? He's a rookie. Well, actually, he's on his second year. But his cards are insane right now. The prices are absolutely crazy, and he hasn't been in long enough to really prove much of anything. He was the rookie of the year, but sometimes stuff like that can really increase and boost the prices on your players, depending on how they are on and off the field or on and off the court. So that's one thing to look at. If these players are winning championships, MVPs, rookie of the year, then that would only increase their value. But depending on what they say on and off the court and the field and how they act and, them as a person will increase the value. For example, you have Derek I said Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter actually made, you know, the Hall of Fame, and he's buying parts of a team, right? And he's going out there and he's doing great things still after his existence in baseball. So that means that his value is just continually going up even more than before, right, over time. And sometimes just random sporadic, you know, parabolic increases happen. It just depends. And there's just so many, right? So one thing, you have prism, you have snake skin variations, you have silver prisms, you have tiger stripes, you have red, white, and blue, orange, ruby red waves, everything. But sometimes what you really want to look at is your numbered variations, right? So your numbered variations, those are going to hold value, right? Because they have scarcity. You want your highest you can get graded cards if you can, but sometimes it makes sense to buy them raw because if they look good, you might actually get a really good deal on them. I've actually bought some from eBay raw, sent them in to PSA and got 10s. So it just depends. And they're worth a lot more graded as a 10. And, you know, looking at it, like, here's an example. So you have this tiger stripe, right? Tiger stripe, Devin Booker. This is not a numbered card, but it's a more rare variation of a prism. So that can increase the value, right? Because there's still not a lot of them. And you also have stuff like blue shimmer. So right now, like I bought this one raw. This is a blue shimmer Zion. You really can't see the shimmer going on. But, you know, this would be a lot cheaper raw before it's graded. And it looks really nice, so I might actually send this one in. And then talking about like silver prisms. So if you can afford the silver prisms, it's always better to buy the silver prism opposed to the base prism. So I went ahead and picked up the LeBron James in that Lakers uniform. So, but this card is phenomenal, right? I think over time it will go up in value. It has him in a Lakers uniform, and this is a silver prism. And they're actually cheap right now, so you can pick this up. So, base cards, right? Base cards. So at the time when I bought this one, a silver Luka Doncic rookie card was a little bit out of reach. So I went for the base card. The base card was a lot cheaper, but it goes to show that over time, sometimes the prices can go down, because today I can probably pick up a PSA 10 for the same price that I got this PSA 9, right? I rushed into it. So don't always rush to buy your cards. And let me see. Okay, so one last thing I want to talk about for the people who are looking into investing in the sports card market, right? So eBay, I mean, there's a lot of different places you can use. You can use Mercari, you can use OfferUp, you can do personal deals with your friend, eBay. There's so many places. But first and foremost, I always use PayPal, right? On eBay, I can use my credit card. But if I'm doing a personal deal in an Insta group or a Facebook, it's going to be goods and services PayPal. I'm not doing friends and family. I'm not doing it. Never do it, because you can get scammed. So eBay for me has been the best, right? Because anytime I have an issue, I can return the product and eBay will get my money refunded, and I've never had an issue. You know, so looking at it, there's millions of cards on here. It's really rough to try to really find what you want. But say you know what you want, right? So say I did a search for 86 Jordan Fleer rookie. I know this is a card that I want. So I go ahead and pull this up. And sometimes your best deals are going to be odd times of the night. You know, sometimes I'll check odd times of the night and see if a auction is ending very soon. And hopefully nobody's up right now to be watching this auction. It doesn't always happen like that, because your expensive cards, they want to make sure, the seller wants to make sure they're actually up as they see it ends, because that means more people are going to see it as it's ending, right, and hopefully bid on it. But I'll still check. I'll still look up, you know, LeBron James, cards and accessories, ending soonest. It might be an odd time of the night, but first and foremost, you bring the card up, right? Then you have all of this stuff that you're looking at. And one thing that I always do is I want to click accepts offers. This is what I do. So you can do it however you feel. And then I want to go to not best match. Sometimes I go to highest first for price, and I'll go down to see what I want, or I'll go from the lowest first, right? But if there's a card where there's like thousands of them, I don't want to go with the lowest. I'm probably going to go with the highest. So with this one, it's probably going to be a ton of them, right? That's graded. but let's start with the highest first. And of course, it's putting a Fleer sticker in here as well, but we can scroll down, and you're just gonna scroll down until you find a price point that you wanna spend, right? And you end up finding the best one for your money. So sometimes you'll see like a PSA 4 higher than like a PSA 5. So I'll keep scrolling. I'll look at everything and do hours and hours of research. I never rush into a buy. Say I found one right here and I'm happy with this, $2,300. I can actually put a best offer. If they don't accept it and they want to go for $2,300, I say cool. What I do next is I scroll down to the sold items, and I basically want to find the same card in the same grade, probably a PSA 9, right? So I'm going to search for that, and I'm going to see the most recent for how much it sold for. And I can go right here, ended recently, and see the most recent date, and I can see how much that card sold for. So if that card recently sold for the last few comps for a lot less than what I'm about to buy this card for, normally I will not purchase it. And sometimes I'll reach into my Facebook groups and just ask around, because some people are actually hurting for money. They want to off a card and sell it. And these blue chip cards, like your LeBron Jameses, your Kobe's, your Jordans, those are like your blue chip stocks. So if you're ever in need of money and you want to off it pretty quickly for a great amount, these are going to be the cards that generally go up in value, right? Then there's some cards that just a gamble, right? I don't know how this Tatum, is going to do. I don't really know how Talon Horton Tucker is going to do. I mean, it's autographed. That's a nice card. Clearly Donruss is numbered. I don't know how he's going to do. Zion, he seems injury prone. I really don't know. But, what I can tell you, sometimes you just want to pick up those cards like right here, the Giannis. I mean, he just won the championship. So he's done a lot. And honestly, they're talking about he's the face of the league now for the NBA. So I'm starting to invest heavily into his cards. So I hope that this information helped out somebody. If you're looking at getting into the hobby, don't worry so much if you really know sports 100%. Get into the groups, do some research, see what's selling, see what's hot. You don't have to know every single player on a roster. It's probably better you don't, because you're going to want to invest in everything shiny and just everything that you can. That is not the way to do it. That's not the way to go. So what I recommend for your investment is at least have one blue chip card, one expensive card in your collection. And then you can branch out from there. If you're going to branch out from there, it's always best generally to go for the rookies. The rookie cards over time generally are the most sought after card, right? They have that rookie card that everybody's after, just like the LeBron one, the Panini Prisms. Like I said, if you can get the silver, sometimes the better variation is like the Tiger Stripe, the Zebra. They're going to be worth a lot more, but they're also going to be a lot more expensive. You cannot go wrong with a silver Prism over time. Try to grab those 10s early, because later on, like I said, they're going to go up in value. And today, people cannot afford an 86 Jordan Fleer that's a PSA 8 or 9, when a couple years ago you could have snagged one for a couple thousand. Now people are spending $5,000 on the PSA 1. It's crazy how times have changed. So this market is only going to expand from here. Tell me what you think. If you like content like this, I'll make more videos talking about sports cards. I love talking about it, and it's a really fun hobby to be in. So I'll be back at y'all again soon with another video, and I'll see y'all later.